Hey, good morning, everybody. Just making sure I'm on. Running a little behind. Welcome if you're new. We're going to start to go over the stocks. I am the professor with Day Trading for Success. I will be trading live right around the open. So yesterday, yesterday ended up being not too cool. I had some moves in various accounts and the market went down. I didn't really take any bigger swing trades because of the whole Jackson Hole thing. But I was holding some that I hadn't closed out yet. I did not expect a sort of a correction to happen near, I don't know when that was. Like it was actually started in mid-morning, I think, and went down. So I am holding an AMD swing that unfortunately has gone tragically against me, and it's on this account. So I can't trade that stock. I can't scalp that. So yeah, that's not cool. I would not count it as this strategy, but it could blow the whole 5K. So it just stuff can go against you, right? I should be swinging that in a different account, but it's here. You can, I don't know if you know this, but you can actually take your trades and move them to another account if you want to still scalp in this. I have so many accounts. Most people probably don't, but like if I wanted to just scalp in an account and not hold a swing, I can just move it. I can actually go inside. You can move it yourself, move a trade over, or an amount of money with the trade from that account over to another account. So I have not done that because I don't think it's that important to scalp AMD. That's the reason I would do it, would be so that I could scalp it, in and out. But yeah, what a swing. Some of the other things, somebody asked me about these numbers. So this is how we're doing. And somebody asked me, they'd notice as I'm giving the updates, like there'd be some small changes in here. And this is why that happened. First of all, you can't mess around with what gets reported. I mean, you take it directly from your, you go into your account here, then you go into your actual account and you export a file. And then that file, you click into TradingView. So all your trades will light up here, and that's how it gets over there. And then TraderView, not TradingView. And there's no really way to do it. It just comes in the way it comes in. However, how I put this in is I will sometimes mid-morning, I'll do that recap and I'll show where I'm at. And then I will trade a little bit more. And often I hold swings, tiny swings, into past the market close till like 8 o'clock, where they will kick off, and they're just small. They're like, $50, $100. And it might change these slightly, because what I had been doing is just updating one day at a time, one day. And then I did from the first to there on a file, and then it updates it. So it might not be exactly right, but I'm not in here like typing in different numbers or something like that. So this is the legit what's going on. So we're 5,300. And, we're doing pretty good with this strategy. There's been some bumps and bruises along the way, but I think it's just scalp. I call it a strategy. It's really just scalping, like you guys know that have been following. I'm just trying to show how I scalped, how I learned from doing, from investing in closely held corporations to then investing in IPOs, and then in the stock market over the many, many years, until finally I got into more day trading and retail trading. And then how did that work, where I tried to do swings, tried and succeeded, but failed a lot too. And then I found that I was able to start to recover by doing short-term trades and watching other traders do that. And then I really, hung on to that type of strategy because I did not like the way the market was being manipulated. First of all, I know firsthand, hedge fund managers, and I know firsthand how the market gets manipulated, right? So unless you're in that crew all the time and with these high-frequency algorithms, you're really, you can't trust the technical analysis because people can move it, individuals and corporations can move it. I really hated that idea. And that's how I got it. And I hated how I lost money. And even though sometimes I was on the winning end of those because I knew stuff, that you shouldn't know. And that's great. Made lots of money doing that. Is it insider trading? I don't know. If you really read the definition of that, it isn't really insider trading. If a group of traders and other people decide to do something and then they talk about it, what they're going to invest in, it's not the company itself saying, hey, here's data that nobody else knows, so you should buy stocks. You know what I mean? Anyway, I won't go down that big road. I made a video about that. And I got threatened with a huge lawsuit, as many of you know, way back a couple years ago. And I took it down because there was no way I was going to fight that fight. Because I didn't give them their whole thing in the letter was that I didn't allow them to say what they wanted to say in my video. But really, the reality was that wouldn't have mattered. They did not want me to say any of that stuff. And I am fine just backing away from that, took that video down. Not a fight I want to fight. But anyway, back to my point. That's when I really realized that you're not going to know all the time. You're not in the know with everybody that manipulates the market. There's no way you could be, right? So the short-term moves of scalping is where I focused on learning. I did momentum trading for a while, and I still do occasionally on Lightspeed, where I buy high and sell higher. But mostly, I don't like that kind of trading. All the time, and the anxiety, the feeling that it can cause, which, I don't get anxiety easily. I'm pretty smooth running guy, but I didn't like the way it made me feel. It reminded me of when I used to gamble professionally, like the casinos and stuff, and count cards and stuff. A lot of you that know my past, I did that for a while and did quite well in the smoke-filled rooms, and it was horrible. What I didn't like was it didn't matter the money, which is a weird thing to say, because I did well doing that before they had good facial recognition. I'm old, for the cameras and stuff. But now it's hard, much harder, and then they only had like 2 or 3 shoot, for the deck shoot. It was much easier to count back in the day. That's another book. That's a book someday to talk about. It's much harder to do what I did back then. My point is, I don't like the feel of momentum trading. It reminded me of gambling, that feeling I got. I don't think it's gambling, like in the sense of, because you're in control a lot more how you get in and out. So I wouldn't count it as gambling as much as the card game would be gambling. But I don't have that feeling when I trade large caps. I'm sure some of you do, though. You have that feeling like I just can't take the stress, especially on a 1-minute chart, right? My God, you would think that what crazy person does that? But then after you start trading on a 1-minute chart, it seems slow to go to another chart. So it's all perspective, right? So anyway, that's why I like scalping, and I think that's what this is. If you want to call it a strategy, that's the only strategy that it really is. It's getting in and out based on historical data and indicator price action flow. So I'm going to go ahead and mark this out, although I have to tell you, these levels after a move like that yesterday are a little concerning to try to trust. So I'm looking at everything kind of with a grain of salt here today. See if we have anything. See, we don't have any data that's recent in this area to mark historical data, just the fibs, and marking yesterday is worthless, and so is the pre-market worthless. So that's I'll just do the 2-day fib, but it just doesn't make sense to do this here. So to go by this level, let me put it that way. I'll mark it, but how much I want to trust these fib levels, these are like a penny off, but that's okay, is very little until I see them respected. That's generally what you want to do anyway, is you want to respect it till it fails, and then you want to not respect it. It's a better way to look at it. So, maybe this is a channel. It'd be great if I didn't put the mark right there. But, I don't know. Let me hit the news for a second. So So we've got a synopsis here. So AMD's down, chips and earnings looming, likely choppy, but watch for a reversal support. Yes. So that's why I'm holding the swing, because I believed it was an unrealistic fall there. And I'm going to hold into that even as it starts to hurt me into the thousands of dollars. That's in the long move, it will go up, but it may be if Jackson Hole might send it way worse. And then I'm suddenly down 10K or something. So yeah, I'm willing to ride that. A lot of people would be way at their max loss and should get the heck out. NVIDIA still a top long in portfolios, potential relief rally ahead of Jackson Hole. Yeah, if he says something positive, everything's going to go up, guys. If he just says status quo, I don't know how much it would go down. I think it's kind of built in to be that he might wait a little longer, but I don't know. People they're making such a big deal about it that it could be really emotional. So be careful. Apple, Fed news likely to be a key catalyst. Fade, call, put gamma zones. It's saying if you're an options trader. Let me just see if I got the rest of this. What did she write there? We have some people here that are big into options. I am not one of them. So again, holding steady with Apple. It's possible it could go down a bit. It looks like it's saying Palantir, which had a huge drop because everybody was saying it was overvalued. Yeah, I'm not even going to touch that stock. There's news about Tesla maybe going up. Range-bound trades off the VWAP or trend line. Thank you, Charlie. Just getting better at this. The mixed sentiment heavy institutional long interest. I'm kind of phrasing some of the stuff she said here. But I will be looking at Tesla today. We'll mark it in just a second. Amazon, I know a lot of people traded Amazon yesterday. So AWS strength remains a tailwind. Crowd trade too. Lean long on early dip. Monitor earnings whispers. Boy, I'd be worried about it. But that might be one we want to trade at the open for those of you brave enough to do such a stupid thing. MU, I wanted her to add this in. Let's see. Range 6 Q's tight. Breakthrough setup. Yeah, I don't know. It's saying look for a tight breakout setup on that one. Sensitive to global demand, China exposure. And then HIMS, volatile small cap with swings. I don't usually trade small caps like that. Only for nimble traders. I think I'm going to read this word for word. I don't know. Anyway, so that was our general news. Out of that, I garner potential Amazon at the open. Let me just see what that looks like. Got to get these marked out pretty quick, guys. Man, that's an algorithm. I'm going to mark this here. Let's see. Some of those spikes are just dumps, that get reported after on post-market, and you can't take them as a real low. Come on. Come on. Thank you. Now let's look at the 2-day. The 2-day 5-minute. Again, this is pretty far off, so everything went down. Not everything, but the big large caps did. So that's close enough. Remember, these are guidelines, guys. Guidelines, not like, oh, I will turn around or I will get in right at that number. It's interesting how close that is to the longer term fib, how it hit that. See how that's made a channel here. It's like a buck channel. So this is for more conservative traders. Let's get a look at Tesla here. It's probably marked up through the 9s here. No, did I already delete the? No, I did not. So you can see I traded this a bit. Let's just clear this. We're running out of time here. Well, I hope everybody's doing good. If you're struggling, I would just say keep your share side tight. A lot of people are just not even trading this week. I think that scalpers are okay if you're careful. You just don't want to get caught in a swing like I did. Just get out for a loss. Don't wait. Which is generally great practice that I don't always follow myself. Yeah, guys, I'm showing you, and I have ways to recover that you might not have, account size and just general knowledge you might not have. You can't blame me because of the way I trade. So I'm just showing you something here that you then have to adapt for yourself. You can't get mad at me and send me nasty emails. And I am as transparent as you can be about that I don't know the answer. This is how to scalp, how I scalp, how a lot of people I know scalp, but it's more of that than a strategy. The strategy is make a little bit every day and watch it grow. That's more the strategy. Don't go for those big, I just put coffee all over my face. Don't live for those big, huge moves, and then they can also go against you. Just slow and steady. Turtle wins the race, So this is Tesla. It's interesting. Let me go back to the 5-minute. It's a risky one to 10-day. I mean, it's a risky one to do at the open for sure. But it has been pretty slow and steady lately. So we're way up. We're at this fib level. Do we have anything to mark? Wow, the fib level picked it up. Yeah, I wouldn't mark any historical data there, and we're out of it up here. So if we go up, which is highly likely that it will go up, he had some news out today. We'll read that in a second. Did I pick up anything here? Not really. That's just a one-time spike. Well, actually, it did kind of touch it here and here too. So we'll mark that just in case it turns out to be something. The news on that. Yeah. That wasn't the news. That's putting out newer news. Apple. We got time for one more maybe here. Then I got to get ready to trade. Has this changed much since I marked it yesterday? Now they did the RV on this yesterday. I came in late on another account, but they were pretty much done. And it seems so slow to me, but really these days, even with 1,000 or 1,500 shares on alternative routing, so you get picked up, you really best case in the half hour to 40 minutes, you're going to make 5K. Now, it's not like those 45K days. I would not keep this level for one. I don't know where those are picked up. That's not bad. Okay. I probably would leave these just so I don't have the time to really mark them out. So are we going to get any kind of a rebound today? That's the thing. If you go into a the biggest news really is the most positive news is on Amazon as it went down. So this might apparently Charlie thinks so, looking for a dip. And she has the benefit of she just talks to everybody in here. But it could be that this ends up being our RV stock today. But let me get a look at this one for the open. I don't want to get under the 8 ball immediately and be red and then have to fight out again. You see me fight out, and it's like if I just had that money from the beginning without it ever going down, then I would have made a nice $300-400 before the friggin' I even get off or at least a couple $100 before I even get off trading with you guys, besides coming back. So this isn't going to make big moves, as you can see. Wow, look at that. Volume is just, God. Will it even pick up 100 shares without doing a multiple dip here? Yeah, I think this is probably the safest one, if that's not an oxymoron, to trade the opening candle, which is a bit of insanity. So I'm going to try to see if I can get off the fib off to 50 cents. I'm going to go in at 75 cents. So let's see, 227.75. I'll try to see if it can pick me up there. If it picks me up there, I'll ride it a little higher. But let's see what it does pre-market here before we open, which is 30 seconds. So yeah, that probably was a little high. I probably should have lowered it to the fib. Yeah, whatever. I'll just keep it there. I probably should have gone in right here, though, as I think about it. Yeah, I'm just going to get out of that position here. Here comes the bell in just a second. Going to get it on the fib fast enough, 49. I'll go right there. I'll go right below the fib. See if I get picked up. Oh, did it not go in? Oh, it didn't even go in. I thought I clicked the trade, but it didn't go in. All right, so this candle is not moving. All right. So that was supposed to be 227.49, and it went straight down. So it never would have picked me up. And it might take, if it's going to go long, I mean, maybe the whole market's just going to go down today. It might be way up here someplace before it starts to travel up. This is just, well, there's the current volume. So a lot of people have jumped on Amazon this morning. 750,000. Maybe the way Amazon goes will be the way of the market. Let me look at the other stuff. AMD went down. NVIDIA went down. Tesla went up. Palantir continues to go down. I wonder if they're going to make that hard to borrow soon. Yeah, so this didn't give me the action I wanted. Let me take a look at some of these others. Let me get over actually to Tesla right off the bat. See if we can play it long biased. Phew, man, I guess that's the one I should have jumped in on the opening candle, huh? Oh my God. It's already up $3. You just never know. Just going to get ready to do something here, but we're not going to get overly anxious. This could retrace and go down $5, so we have to, it's too early to call any levels here. As you can see, all the half and whole dollar levels opened up. I wish it was as easy as just saying to you guys, go in here, get out here, go in here, get out here. But you see how, I struggle trying to make the money, and it's just, trading is just not that easy if everybody be a millionaire doing it, right? Wow. Question is, do I buy a dip here? This is interesting. I'm actually thinking about it. Yeah, I think I will. See if it picks me up. I got it at the even dollar. There we go. I tried to get 12 bucks. I didn't want to get greedy because I was looking at the swale. I was just like, just take some green and get out of that move. That may have been a bad move. So hopefully you guys were able to do that because it went down pretty quick there again. So that is that's the 200 moving average. Holy mackerel. Is that really the 200 moving average? No, I don't have it on the daily chart here. Oh, there it goes. It's going to go up now. I'm actually I'm gonna chase it by the way it's moving. Was that a mistake? Come on. I just went in market because I wanted to get in it as it climbed, and I didn't get out fast enough to make money. Instead, it's gonna hurt me. So I'm all the way up at 69. That's how bad market filled me there. So that was a FOMO move. That was stupid. I should have waited a second. So yeah. See if it slams up there and gets me out for a small profit, or if it's just going to continue to hurt me here. Let's see. 50 shares is all it is. So it's about to pick me up. I'm up at 94, yeah. So I got a small trade out of that, but that was really a stupid trade. But anyway, I thought I was going to go whoop, so I did a little FOMO move there and got one of the worst fills you could get. Price, where my price was anyway, so. Back to the old momentum days. I'm waiting now, guys. I don't see any clear move here other than just, that looks fun. Another me would be in here long for 300 shares and say, let's go. But trying to be a little more conservative here. Remember how high it was yesterday, so we're way off of its higher numbers right now. When it seems to be, when it gets, well, it was at 303 for a while. I kept going back to that. Now it seems to be going back into the 320s when it kind of pulls back. Remember, it's like a $14 ATR stock, so I'm not going to jump on a short here. I will tell you that. I'm not going to, after that opening move, I'm not jumping on a short, so. You can watch this go to 340 before you know what happens, right? Whole market is going down. Well, at least all the stocks I'm looking at, but the market shows up here. Now, see, 15-minute still shows down. Let's see if it can hit that fib again, and that might be a spot to try it, to go up. It's not slowing down. So that's a whole $1.50 off where it is now, roughly. So take that in mind with your share size. Yeah, I don't want to go short. It did go, it hit the fib and slammed right down as a ceiling. Just how the historical data should work. I just worry a bit about this going up today, and I'm just riding it the wrong way. So I thought it might just not respect the fib, but it really did. Making a mini bull flag here. All the multi-chart alignment says we're going up. It's just a little early. We're only into the 8th minute. Market magnet's going to push that puppy up. Look at the action up here. This is going to pull up. Watch it pull up. And that's like a springboard. It's hitting the fib again, though, at the same time. So it is tempting to short it here. But if that magnet wasn't coming in, there it goes. I might have shorted there, but that's too strong with that many people right here. It's just, this just happened. So you got to look at what just happened. That's all we have is what just happened. So So it may be enough to not get it to reject off that, but it did. Wow, it already would have been a move, right? 20-cent move down. I like that it's slowing down a bit, you know, how far it's moving. So it's consolidating a bit in here. You see if anything else is worthy. No, everything else is still fading. Boy, people must think there's going to be really bad news or something from... I mean, but even if he says he's not going to cut it, it's just the same market we were in. I mean, I don't get it. Yeah, Apple went down, not up. I'm looking at the scanner numbers, so Amazon went down. This is the only one that's going up. So now I'm very tempted, if it hits the 31, to try to ride this short here, to have it pop back down because it's making new highs up there. Oh, it didn't. It just went right off the fib again, huh? Man, that is 3 times now that fib turned that puppy around. So, of course, that could mean a breakout, right? About to break the flat top. So let me begin to buy a bid down here if it goes low enough. This is 330, maybe a little bit below that. I'll try that there. I got it at 72. So I'm waiting for it to get back up to that 50 cent up there. I'll take that if I got it. That's a little bit of money. Just 50 shares, so it would be a slow climb. Bounced off that 9 moving average. Looking for a bigger dip this time to pick it up if I'm going to do the same thing twice. I'm also thinking that it's going to break that fib level. Wow, that was increased volume there. If you haven't got the Scalp Pro meter, get it, because I'm watching this like crazy right now. So just to see the sentiment inside here. Interesting. I'm going to go for it, guys, if I can get it. Not to 16. Nope, that was already a winning trade, and I missed it. So I'm getting out. See if it pounds. I'll try it again. Got it at 10 cents this time. So we don't want this to keep fading. Oh, I don't like that. I'd rather take a small loss than add to this. So is it going to break the 50 cent mark? Oh, it did. Well, I'm going to hold it a little longer. I looked away and I was further down than I wanted to be. So that fib, we do not want it to break that fib. That's a new low. Almost a new low, I mean. So now as it climbs back up, it might be worth getting in. I'm at 29.10. I need more signs than that. See, that fibs. If the channel's going to be these fibs, that's going to be outstanding. Almost got me in there as it's climbing because it looks like it's definitely climbing. So I'm going to go for it and hope it doesn't burn me bad here. I'm over the sell because I don't want it to plummet down quickly. Now it's moving up the way I want it to, so I'm getting ready to get out at the ask rather than the market. There's my position on the ask, and then it faded right off to just torture me there. Come on. Make a channel here. This would be outstanding. Let's give us something to trade. We're still slightly early. We're just getting into where it should be starting to consolidate for us. Let's get up to that fib. Oh, I had a winning trade. I think market would have killed me though, but if I got out of market. So I'm waiting for it to swell back up. Try to hit that even dollar again or just below. It'll pick me up. There we go. So 58. We just had to wait it out. And of course, if you wait longer, you probably have a better trade. I just wasn't 100% sure, so I went for the money. So now it's 3 taps down here at the 28.50. So and you have the fib as your fail safe if you end up getting it at this level in a minute or two. So we'll wait to here comes the magnet. It's about to pull this down. See the action down here coming in? So that's going to pull this down. This is the market magnet, guys. So this is telling you what price volume has just happened. And that's like you're trading with the crowd. So that's going to pound it down. It might break the fib based on that. Let's see. You already have a winning trade if you jumped in when you saw that coming across. I get more into calling them than actually taking the trades. Wow. And there it was. That called it, and it was a good trade if you went short. It's hitting the 200 daily average. This would be something that would be respected, but boom. Okay, was there new news on anything? Look at the market, man. Look how red it is. And fear is high. There's not a single stock on my scanners that is green. They're all red right now. So it looks like going short might be the way to go for whatever you're trading. Man, this stopped me dead from trying to do any channel trading, so I'm not quite yet willing to just write it down. For those of you that jumped on that way back at the market magnet, you're probably doing great. 90% meters off the chart almost here for going short. New low. Wow. What happens is everybody jumps on, so it tends to see if you can bang back up to the 50 cent and I'll go short. Okay, I'll try that. All right. On a sort of retracement, I got in, but I don't want this to be the turnaround spot, so waiting for a little bigger move. I'll try to get out there. So that was like a $20 trade. I'll try to catch it on a retracement again. There it goes. It's actually turning around, so that's not good. Tried to get out there. I did get out 86 now. So I'm just taking the money as it goes down rather than getting greedy, guys. That's the... Should have just stayed in it as always, but I'm trying to practice safer trading. Try to get in at the 11 cents there, but it's not going to. It's gone. It's gone. Yeah, that would have been a 50-cent trade already. For a bump up above the 50 cent. Cancel that trade. That time it got me 64. It's hitting that fib, boy. We want to go back down and hit that fib. Does seem to be slowing here, so it's a little riskier on the short. There we go. Broke the 100. So this isn't really safe scalping. Channel trading. This is not channel trading. This is just finding a bias and writing it. All right, be careful. Off the fib, reversal sign. Be careful continuing to go short here. Let's see what this is going to do. See how the sellers dropped here, guys? Volume dropped and they didn't even make it to the top. Somebody decided that fib line was the space to, a lot of people thought that's where we need to go in. So they did that. If you're on Tesla with me, it could be that was the bottom for now anyway. But I'm certainly not willing to go long right now after this move. Need a couple of green candles to think about going long. That just stopped me from going short for the moment. Breaking that fib would get me to jump in for sure. That's at the 28 cents. Wow, it looks like it wants to do it for sure, huh? 7. Nope, it's teasing us. A lot of traders up there. Making a hangman. Buyers went up. They didn't make it to the top, and it didn't pass the volume where the sellers didn't make it to the top. So it might be, maybe it's going to create a channel down here that has new bottom, if this is the bottom. God, I'm not going to buy off that fib. I almost did. I was like, oh, it's going to hit there for support, but there, it broke it. This is where I should be selling. So is it going to give me a chance to go back up there and get out on the ask, get into a move on it? No, it just, I said I wanted to go short when it broke that, and I was tuned out. There was a great move too. Ah, it's breaking the ATR too. Oh my God. It's going to break the 123. See, that green candle stalled me. Oh my God. I got it. I went ahead and went in there. Got it 79. We're going to look for a continuation of this fade. And I don't want to get over greedy. Try to get it out right there. Didn't pick me up, unfortunately. Well, that was a good trade a second ago. Here it comes. And boom, boom, boom. No, don't turn green on me. That gave me a little preview of how this thing is acting. Just keep it slow and conservative. Just build the money. Don't go for the big moves. Maybe they're working for you, but then they're going to go against you at some point. And you're just going to be like, well, it will recover. It's going to recover. Until you slam your head into your monitor. Again, I am not a licensed financial advisor. You should seek the advice of somebody licensed. Yay, put that in there real quick. Remember, read that. Let's see here. Went above the dollar. I'm going to try to get in it there. Didn't pick me up. Boy, picking it up at that 17-cent above would have been great. I didn't think about it fast enough. Look at it. All right. Hope this isn't its big play up, right? You always got to think like that was the bottom. Here it goes. It's going to soar up. Definitely stopping here, huh? Here we go. We made our goal. Our minimum goal has been made if you were trading along with me with 50 shares. So let me take a break and look around a little bit, guys. I can still make the opening session of the next trade. Boy. AMD all the way down to 160 now. It's unheard of. It's doing that so fast. NVIDIA down to 170. Boy, there's going to be some serious profit taking on this, people, when they start buying these dips. That's all going to come back up. Apple down to 226. Amazon's down to 223. Hood's down to 99. That's 99. We were trading that level a month ago. So people apparently thinking that I could have kept going short here too. Do you hear a bit of FOMO? It just passed the 50 moving average here. That's the daily, by the way, guys, not the 1 minute. So those levels are not being respected at all by Tesla's just blowing through every level down. Yeah, there's the 200 and there's the 50. No, maybe that's the 100. No, that's the 200. The 100's yellow. Wow. Where's the bottom of this? Is it going to go back down to 303 and I'm just missing the whole move? It broke the volume going down, almost doubled it going down. So people really missing some news here. Took 2 times to pick up 50 shares going up. Man. Oh, I don't like to see that. No, I'm going to get out of that. Okay. Oh, I didn't get out of it. I got in it. Again, I made money on a mistake. Does give you opportunities here, I'll tell you that. The way it's swelling. Just picked up a baby move there as it was going up. Goes back down. Here's the battle, turning it back around. Nope, I didn't get in because I wanted to push the ask and should have just hit market. Damn. So that was a little bit of a way to make some money on that candle, but man, looks like it's not done going down by yet. You look at the 5 minute and the 15 minute, it's like, what were you thinking? There's nothing going up there. I started to get in and then I changed my mind. With that, I will get in on the 50 cents. On the short. I'm playing it tight and conservative here. It's twice now that I almost got out. I don't like it. Yeah, I got to get out. Okay, that's too bad. I lost some of that money. That was a bad trade. Broke through the 50. This could be the bottom. Let's see if it's going to give us enough to ride it back up. Tad scary. I don't see anything else I would want to jump on, to be frank. I mean, it's just... we need to wait for this to calm down and consolidate a little bit. It's not consolidating. Everything's just going. This could be the beginning of it. So let's see. Got a fib level, ATR level here. This is definitely a reversal sign here for everything. MACD says go up. You've got the 50 now for the support. That was at the top on the Meter Pro. But as you can see, buyers have taken over the last 3 minutes. 5 minutes. Let's see what happens when we cross this next 5 minute here. It's going to be green unless it drops all the way down here. Has to get below the 321 to think about threatening a red candle here. And there it goes, which would turn this red if it does that. Nope. It gave us a reversal sign on the 1 minute on that one, so it's about to turn this red. It just needs to breach this. That's all the way down to like 84. Slightly terrified to go long with this. That's why I lost that trade. Going long would have been better. I was up to 170 something. After this, going long, I don't know. Not yet. Well, it made a nice hangman there, turned right around and said, why don't you want to go long? 322. Wow, there it goes. Maybe it's going to retrace. We got 2 fibs to get through up here. I'm running gun shy on it, guys. Just a little gun shy about this. Oh, I can see other things are starting to turn around. The market's starting to turn around. Yeah, everything's going up. Nvidia went up a couple bucks. I mean, from their tragic lows that just hit. And so did AMD. Apple's just like 50 cents. So this might be the real turnaround because the whole market's showing it. So let's see. So first I want to see it break this fib and this ATR before I think about playing longer biased. Get a real recovery on the 5 minutes. We got a 15-minute green now. So that was green, by the way, as we crossed. I didn't, and that's usually a sign that it's going to continue to go up. People jump on it, getting more confidence. Broke the 9, breaking the 14 moving average now. So MACD said go up right when it hit that doji. And we got a hangman as a reversal. We had 2 reversal signs here. But is it reversing the downtrend or the slight? This isn't really enough for a trend, so which way did that mean, reverse, you know? Or a change in direction, short term or longer term. Wow. I would definitely call this a longer move right now, the way that it's looking on the level 2 and the patterns. Again, we're getting another sort of doji reversal sign as it goes up. There's fight to keep it short. It's all about calling the right direction when you get in, not about adding, even though I'm 25%. You want it to be the right direction that you're, right off the bat, and not try to manage a bad position based on this type of short-term scalping. You just need your decision to be correct. All right, I'm going to go for it. See if I can get it. Going for a long. Got back some of it. Boom. So it is really turning around. We got a fib and an ATR that's going to really decide that. We can punch through those. We're above the 14 solidly now. Broke it way up here. Here comes some action coming in. The magnet's below us, right? Or is it above us? No, it's above us. That's going to pull it back down. So watch out. Watch out. There it comes back down here. So be careful. That could stop the upward move. Let's see. Give it a second to see. Between the ATR, the fib, and that, this could be a reversal. See how it's kind of flattening out here? I did that here too, though. So let's see. Magnet's flipping it around. Already was a short trade there for a victory. Yeah, that's three candles that say we're not going up now. I'd still play this long, honestly. I just want to dip before I do. For a dip down to the even dollar. And it's not going to give me an opportunity to make a better trade. It's 15 cents on the bid. Had I got in, I'd already have a winning trade. Wow, it's swailing down though on the level 2, so be careful. It's making lower lows on the level 2 and consistently. Yeah, that's what I was worried about, some sort of spike like that. I'm going to go ahead and grab that if I get it at the 80 cents and hope that that's just a momentary pullback there on this, and it's going to zoom right up here. There it goes. Come on. Break the 22. You're not done going up, are you? Hit the 50. Yeah, this is getting really hard to call, guys. I'm just going to get out. Okay, back down again. Yeah, I'm not holding them like I normally do. Just look. I looked at that 15-minute and I was just like, I don't know. Now, this is when most people are jumping in here for the RV, is right around this timeline here. Let me see if, since NVIDIA's, well, it started to recover, then it went right back down again. So did AMD. Let's get a look. I might get off soon, guys, and come back when the market's a little, it's hard to trade on this week, you know, with the whole announcements coming up. So we've broken through like everything here. All my markings. Actually, let's see if we've got some data. Yeah, it's not in the last 10 days. We haven't been this low. Here's one. Is that... no, we're way below that fib. Okay. So, yeah, we got nothing. That's the problem. We just don't have... We only have intraday consolidation patterns, and they're not, blowing up my skirt here. So let me get a look at this for a minute and just see. Got a lot of people on that, and then they probably got flushed out here. There's the bottom of the market magnet on this one. You can see on the Scout Pro, they're right at the top on the sellers coming down. I would not count that as a reversal going up. Let me mark this tweezer move, even though the magnet's there. That's a tweezer pattern, so I just wanted to look at that. New low. That's the new low. Right at the low is a tweezer pattern. Is that the level it's decided? For the last 15 minutes, it decided that was a level to stop at, which is, right at the 170 mark. raise my share size on this because it's so much less volatile than Tesla. But I may come back to try to get this closer to $500 as these things settle down. Yeah, that's why I didn't want to go long there. Look at that. Oh my God, what is going on? So it really broke that 170. People are just feeling there's some sort of panic when there shouldn't be. See, this is good news. 10:06. This is peering into NVIDIA's recent short interest. Well, what did they end up doing for the RV? I can't see the chart there. Hood. They're trading Hood for the RV. For those of you trading Hood, that's what's going on right now. Let's get a look at it. Wow. Well, I guess it was hard to pick anything. Zach got more data that would be used to, when they did their historical? I mean, I think it was just impossible to pick anything, probably. No, it's way up there. Oh, no, there's the one I just marked. Okay, so that makes some sense that it's within the 10-day anyway. But man, well, when it opened, it was a great, much better RV stock. The way it met the criteria, I'm sure. But right now, let's get a look at the level 2 action with the price flow here to see if there's something to do here. I'll trade along. Of course, they're all going to start looking at my for the short term, much lower share size here. All right, I'll determine the share size by watching this for a second here. Okay, so it's moving like 8 to 15 cents pretty regularly. It's got a 6-cent spread, 5 to 6 cent spread. Let me look at the level 2. I like to look at the way the volume pattern is as well, not just inside each candlestick. If you've made whatever your goal is, guys, you should just get out. It seemed like there was some opportunities early on with Tesla. MACD right there. You're getting indicators over here, which is nice. So you're getting enough crossovers to help you read with these prop firm indicators that are pretty handy. That's the momentum. This is the buy-sell oscillator. That's the momentum going up. That's the momentum going down. That's not the buy. I mean, that's the risk oscillator. That's the buy-sell oscillator, and that's the MACD. So the fact that these are here to help us a little bit on this one is something to think about. It's just everything straight down. This, because of all the people trading, this could actually be why this is happening. So let me just see. Volume's pretty low here, so well, probably not, because you're all alternative routing, right? Yep. So nothing to do with that then. It's great when Schwab does all the trades without going through the exchange. So, that's their own dark pool. All right, let's see if we really can get something here, guys. Let's give it a minute. The $0.25. See if it holds to that. You've got a fail-safe on the whole dollar. Didn't really like it down at the 98. I mean, this is where it stayed a month or so ago, 2 months. I mean, it was right around the $100 mark. So you've got some older data to look at here. Actually, let me just open that day chart for a second. Yeah, you look over here, that's 103. There was, I remember we were trading in here and it kept going up and below the $100. So this is very close to it. Like that level right there, it tapped a bunch of times. That's 97.23. And then that's all the way up at 106. So, no, that was 101, I guess. Okay. I just marked some day levels there for the hell of it, just to see where we're at. The 96, 97 way down there. Yeah, I'm playing a little gun shy. I had a couple of bad trades, which is not like me. I think I'm still 80% or something, but it makes me take pause and think about the next trades. I would definitely buy down here if it came down here. Watch it close. Maybe even the 50-cent mark, because it is going up again. Whole market. This one just flipped, and the market just flipped. Tesla's back up to, or down to, was it 390? It's 319 now. Nvidia is back up to 170. AMD is at 160. All right, let's look if we can get a dip down here for it to keep going up. That was the 50 cent. It hit it and went right back up. That was a good trade if we caught it. That was already 30 cents up. See if it does it again. 58 was the best I saw on the bid. Stalling here. Plenty of opportunities to get out if you called it wrong. You just don't stay in it. 58 again. Okay. Volume increased as it's going down. You saw the blue label come up. So wait for it to make a bigger move down. There it goes. 43. I'll grab it there. 39. Don't break that 24. Okay, so it decided to hurt me and I got in right there. Yep. I just do not have a lot of good luck with hood. Even if I picked it up on the 24, this is a bad trade, so just watching the level 2 for some sign of reversal here. I'm going to go in. It was going up, so I averaged into half share size. This hood, yeah. MACD's trying to fight against me. Don't do that. Get back up there. Here we go. Come on. Don't push it down, MACD. Let's make a nice trade. Twice as good. There's a $35 trade. I actually got nervous there. I'm not on my game today. I got nervous for 35 bucks. It's more about the accuracy for me anyway, but so it showed us that it could break that. I could see why they're trading this. Right now, particularly, things are getting very RV-ish for that type of strategy. And it should have turned around, and it did turn around. I just should have waited a little longer to grab it, but and you would have seen me reverse up here rather than just take the sale if I was doing the RV strategy, and there'd be 1,000 to 1,500 shares here. So $350 trade one way, $250 trade the other way. This trade here would have been, well, I would have caught it here, probably going down. So 101. Yeah. It's another $1,000 trade there. Then a reverse on a tweezer. Nice. Is it going to keep going down there to the even $100? Boy, the $100 would be a good spot, I would think, for it to rebound, you know. Even catching a little bit below that would be a great place to go long. Charlie's still trading with me, so she's not. I'm telling them my thought process, so they mic'd up for them. To 101.41. Yeah, we got to get higher before I think about going. I'm looking over here, thinking, you know, 101.50 maybe to go short. We're gonna cut off here soon, guys. So see, a lot of you are still with us. I hope you're doing okay. You should be able to get this up to a 250 day, maybe more with this strategy. Adds up, guys. 200 a day, that's 4,000 a month, or a little bit more. What are you going to do for us up here? Go higher. Keep going. Let's see here. It's 28, 34. Wow, hit 35 for a second there, then faded. That was a 10-cent trade doing down. There it goes. Hit it for a second. Let's get the real spot where everything stopped, which is at the 66. Yeah, I turned around up there. That's the ATR, lower ATR of the full ATR low, which seems to be stopping it right now. There, it broke the 51, 56. Can we get into the 60s? Wow, I gotta take that on a retracement. Let's see what happens here. You know how I like to ride those back? The way they go one way, I feel like they're going to pull back the other way. Level 2 is not showing me that, though. I'll tell you that. There we go. Well, that did pretty good at the end by averaging in. Saw how the buyers were dropping on volume there. Every time I listen to Kathy Wood, I just don't trust her much. Of course, every one of those fund managers is pushing what they want to move because they've got a bigger stake in it, you know. Kind of glad those days are gone where I just scalp now and I don't have to try to decipher what's really going on. I mean, you can't get away from it really, but you guys are doing good over there, that's for sure. Seeing $2,000 and $3,000 days up there. It's going to use that as support now on the 66 level. 54, nope. Going down to the ATR, which is at 47. Look at the overall market again. Things are starting to look up again. Things are starting to turn around and go the other way. Ever so slowly, but they are. So that would have been a good pullback to get on the 66. Now we're at the even dollar. I'll take a couple more trades maybe, guys. But let's see, how are we doing? So was I trading? I was trading Tesla, right? I have 65 there. I left an open position over here? Oh, my God. I did not see that. I did not see that. That was really stupid. I left an open position here. Oh, my God. Let me take an assessment here. Yeah, I knew I was tired today. Well, there blows the day. I have to dig out of that hole. So I am long, which is not something I would have done. And do I have any chance of recovering this, or should I just get out right now? Yeah, so I was up pretty good for the day there. And then this happened. God. Oh, my God. Really? Wow. Oh, it was way worse a minute ago. I think I just need to get out of this position. Let me just see for a second here. I feel so stupid. Just looking at the over. I'm not going to swing this, so I'm looking at the overall to see if this is about to recover and thinking about adding to get out of this negative trade, but I don't see a good sign of this turning around, so I had some good money here at one point because I'm only actually 100 down for the day. It's just this one trade is so bad. It's like, what the heck happened here? $318. Shows some sign of recovering here, but it's weak. Easy enough to dig out of this, but I just feel so dumb that I'm in it. $183. This is what we call managing a bad position that I didn't know I was even in. And it's really getting worse. So I'm thinking I need to get out of this. One stock you will not see me swing is Tesla. Overall bad news in the market. No news, just emotional. Don't break the 50 cents. No. That's twice now. Yeah, I'm going to take out. I'm going to get out of that position. Geez, guys, I hope you guys were probably yelling at me, and I didn't even see that. So now I've got to get out of this hole, but I'm going to have to come back and do it. Ugh. Oh, the joys of live trading. Just not my day today. I didn't get my sleep. And somehow, yeah, because I was at 50 shares, so I pushed the wrong. I did that twice this morning, and this one I didn't see. I thought I was out of the position. Wow. All right, guys, I hope you're doing better than I just did there. And I will try to get the recap out today, if not tomorrow. And I will see you soon. So be careful, more careful than me, and go green out there.